on 9/11, I was abruptly, believe it or not, I was abruptly woken up by the sound of nothing. So much so that my ears hurt. There was just no noise. I went outside to see what the problem might have been, and I saw smoke billowing from the tops of the towers. I immediately knew something was terribly wrong. I went upstairs and got my bicycle, and I decided to ride into work. Soon after that, our supervisors were instructed to mobilize us. I was mobilized with a sergeant and 6 of my fellow officers to respond to this area. Everything that I witnessed from that moment was undiscernible. I couldn't tell you what was a building, what was debris. There were smashed vehicles, there were vehicles on fire. There was about 3 or 4 inches or up to my ankles of this gray dust that was just all over the place. It just permeated all over the place. And the debris, from what I remember, was about 6 or 7 stories high of just crushed metal and cement. And rescue workers and firefighters and police officers were all climbing all over that high debris in an effort to find fallen, covered people. And I can't tell you of a more sobering thing to listen to, and feeling hopeless. And they would bring the debris over to the Staten Island landfill, where at the time they gave us proper equipment, real respirators, real biosuits, to where we would go through and find things like bones and flesh and personal effects of these poor people who were buried under these buildings. There's a saying on the NYPD: by the time you're a veteran of 5 years, you've either seen or experienced anything that there is to experience as a New York City police officer. And being an officer over 18 years, I thought I had seen that at least 3 times over. I began to realize, no, indeed, I have not experienced anything, and I hope never to experience anything like that again. But anyway, it was a call for help, and instinct kicks in when it's a call for help. If you're a police officer, a firefighter, EMS worker, or something like that, we come in and we do our job. Our job is to protect and serve, and now it was time to go and do that job. And we came down here with that attitude, and we put our best efforts in it. But you know what? I was in a lot of fear, and I allowed that fear to become and turn into intense anger. I was so angry at how would a God of my understanding would allow such a thing to happen to so many innocent people. In the early years as a police officer, I didn't handle stress very well, and the way I coped with stress was the use and overabuse of alcohol, and that got me into a lot of trouble, and it took me places I didn't want to go. After a period of time subjecting myself to that kind of abuse, I decided I needed some help. I've since then, found a new faith in Jesus, and I don't regret saying that. I would have liked to have that faith then, as I do now. That God has a purpose for everything. And this tragic thing that happened was done by a group of men who had a lot of anger and a lot of prejudice. Soon after 9/11, in 2003, I moved to Florida, where I met my wife Lisa and her son Levi, and we married and began to pursue this faith together. And then, unfortunately, my wife passed, and it was then again that I needed to rely on a faith to give me strength to get through that kind of tragedy. and it has been working. That's how I know that it's real. That's how I know that Jesus and the relationship that I have with Him is real, because I get that strength to continue to push on. I'm not in a hurry to welcome the next emergency or tragedy that's waiting around the bend, but I know that if one does show up, when I put my faith in Jesus, that I will have the strength to stand anything that this world has to throw at me.